Okay, so this is a deck based around, this is a combo control deck. So to start with the controlling elements, we have sweepers like Ruination that kill all units. We've got some things like Vengeance. We've got Vile Feast for cheap interaction that also makes blockers. Things like Hapless Aristocrat and Averson Sentry and Kindly Tavern Keeper that keep us alive and block in the early turns. And then we have a combo finish in this deck that uses Trundle along with an interesting kind of circumvention of the champion rules in this game. So champions are special cards that level up in Runeterra if you haven't seen it before. So when he's summoned, he creates an ice pillar in your hand, and then he levels when you play that ice pillar. And then his leveled mode says when he attacks, he gets +1 attack permanently for each 8+ cost card you have in play and in your hand. So under normal circumstances, you could only have one of each champion in play, because when you have a champion in play and you draw a second copy of that champion, it turns into its champion spell in your hand, so you can't play a second copy out. That being said, effects like Rekindler, that when he's summoned, it revives the strongest dead allied champion, or Thresh's leveled mode, which pulls another champion out of your deck, or the card our deck is named after, the Harrowing, which revives the 6 strongest dead allies that died this game. These effects can get around that one champion in play rule. So the basic idea is we want to play Trundles out, and then we kill them with things like Chronicler of Rune, or we bring back more of them with Rekindler, and then we eventually set up playing Harrowing to bring back 3, 4, 5, even 6 Trundles sometimes, and then all of those Trundles that get summoned create that ice pillar in your hand, so then you have a bunch of 8+ cost cards in your hand, and then they all attack and gain a bunch of attack with Overwhelm to smack your opponent for lethal. Yeah, we basically Trundle level them to death, which is sweet. So, the deck was neat last time we played it. It'll be interesting to see if our brew can hold up the second time through. And still feel competitive like it did before. Runeterra, if you haven't seen it before and you're hanging out for the Magic section, this is the Riot's card game based on the League of Legends IP. It's definitely my favorite card game right now. It's incredibly consumer friendly to get into. There's no random loot boxes to get cards from. You can buy in-game currency or free to play and get exactly the cards you want when crafting. There's no random booster packs. One more month and I enter full toddler mode. I'm a JoJo. Thank you for the 23 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. One of the things I love about Runeterra here, as you can see, at the start of the game, I get to see my opponent's champions and what regions their deck are. So as someone who's familiar with the metagame in Runeterra, Misfortune and Quinn is an aggressively slanted deck, so I'm going to mulligan accordingly. I don't need... In fact, I think I'm mulliganing everything but my 1-drop, just looking for cheaper cards on my curve or my copies of Ruination to sweep the board. Okay, and we didn't find a ton of cheap things, but we found Ruination here, so that's decent. So, turn order in this game is similar to Magic in that you pass priority back and forth doing things. The thing that really differentiates my turn from their turn is who's attacking. So you can see they have the sword token here, so they're going to be attacking to start this game. Every turn, both players draw a card and replenish their resources. My opponent elected not to attack here, because attacking and blocking works very similar to Magic in that they declared attackers, I would get to declare blockers, and they don't really want to trade their 2-1 for my 1-1 here. I'm going to go ahead and start the turn by attacking. I don't have anything else to do with my mana here, so I'm just going to end up passing. One of the things I love about the resource system in this game is that unlike games like Hearthstone and Magic, when you have unused resources, you don't just lose all of them. So you'll note here when we go to the 5th turn, I have 3 resources here, but I also have 2 resources here from the ones that I banked. So this is called spell mana, and you can carry 3 resources over turn. So Kindly Tavern Keeper can heal my ally or Nexus by 3. However, you can't heal your Nexus above 20. I think I'm just playing this out pre-combat so I can trade with a 3-2 here, though. So, obviously, the heal doesn't do anything here, but I can trade this now, which is nice. So, this has a barrier on it, which means it's not going to take damage the first time this round. When I mouse over the eye here, it shows me how combat's going to work out. It shows me that I'm going to get a spider when my one thing dies. These 3 units are going to die, and I'm going to take 3 damage. If you're ever wondering how combat or anything like that's going to play out, just mouse over the eye and it lets you know. This is a very good draw. I didn't really want to play Chronicler because I want to save this to, like, level up Thresh or get more Trundles going. This heals me 3 and gives me an extra mana gem, so it's a ramp spell. So I'm going to go ahead and just play that out here. So I'll have 6 total mana next turn, so I am... That means I am 2 turns away from ruinating, which is nice. We'll see how they want to attack here. This unit has the scout mechanic, which means if they attack with just this to start, they get another attack step. And this thing summons a 3-4 when it dies. They might offer this up to trade for my 1-1, since they get another combat step and a 3-4 when it trades.
Nothing gets between me and my mark.
Hot damn, it's the boss.
Hot damn, it's the boss. All right, so she summoned another scout unit. I think I just go ahead, So now I have 1 resource left over. I kind of want to get set up to Ruination. Yes, it does kill. I think I'm just playing Trundle. It could be right to play Thresh, though, so we can start seeing things die. Trundle means their attacks are pretty bad, though. I think it's just Trundle to make their attacks bad. Trundle has regeneration, so he recovers the damage he's taken at the end of each turn. I think I block here and hope they just don't have Ranger's Resolve. They do. So this makes all their things tough, so they take 1 less damage here. Means that survives. I think sub mode is off. Is it on? It was on still. All right. You're down to 6. So we have 7 mana plus 2 extra. I'm going to start the turn by attacking for 4, I think, and see what they do. If they play a unit out, I'll probably Ruination. Get the board clear.
How you doing?
What's the difference between Obliterate and Kill? Think of it as Kill versus Exile coming from Magic. That is exactly correct, Beardsley. Alright, so now I gotta decide what I want to do. They decided to just pass back. I think I probably just want to play out some units here. So I have blockers next turn. This could be wrong, though.
One banner, one destiny.
So I could play this to kill and revive Trundle, so that way I have 2 Trundles in the tank for an eventual Harrowing. However, Thresh is a little bit scary to get going, but I'm probably going to end up Ruinating next turn, so I think I just do this. Does Trundle leveling level the revived ones? Yes, when you level a Trundle, all your Trundles everywhere level.
And I thought I was a troll.
We have a single combat here, maybe? Single combat's a reason to maybe play Thresh out instead of this. Morning, Logan. You do have single combat, okay. Oh, am I dead on board to open attacks? I am, aren't I? Yeah, because I can only go up to 9. Yeah, I probably should have ruinated. That was greedy. Yeah, I should have, instead of playing the Omen Hawk, I should have taken the pass or ruinated. Probably should have just ruinated. Sweepers are so much worse in this game than in Magic in a refreshing way. Because there's so much counterplay to them. Because effectively every unit has flash in this game, the timing on sweepers has to be a lot more specific to blow people out. It's not like Magic where you just like cast your Wrath of God on 4 and your aggro opponent can no longer win. Leona, Orion, Sol. I agree that the opponent played well, but I think I should have ruinated instead. I think my play was bad. I don't think I want Ruination in my opener in this matchup. Aristocrat into Catalyst seems fine. Keeping Thresh in the opener seems fine. How is Trundle better than Anivia? Because Trundle gives you a combo kill with Harrowing Elvish. Trundle's also just a more aggressive single unit. It's also cheaper than Anivia. I also haven't played with Anivia in a long time, so... Combo kill. Yeah, you have a bunch of Trundles die, and then you Harrowing, and you attack them with like 4 or 5 Trundles for lethal.
Devotion to battle.
Maybe I'm supposed to take the hit for 2 here and save the spider to die after I put Thresh into play. That could be right.
The dawn has arrived.
Carry her light across the mountain.
Yeah, as an individual champion, both of these champions I think are better than Anivia too. You can type ! card and then the card name, Alex Moon God, and the bot will pull up the card text of Runeterra cards. Just as a FYI. Yep.
Rise! I am the bulwark against darkness!
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think I should have Vile Feasted the 2-1 in response. It's definitely what I should have done. So I think I'm Vile Feasting here regardless. I think I'm going like Spider, and then Glimpsing. Yeah, I should have killed this in response. It doesn't really matter where I put these now. So I wouldn't be taking damage here if I had Vile Feasted properly. And this would have one more towards leveling up. Sure. Okay. He does not force Smith. That is not like magic. No Leapbird. No Black Spears. I don't think that card's very good. As always, you can see the current deck list on your screen using the widget. Hey, I'm supposed to lead on Trundle there, actually, to start getting some of him dead.
Daylight everlasting.
So Laddie control all that I want to touch.
I think I was supposed to play Trundle there, actually. What's going on, youngest son? See if they open on attacks here, if they try and stun something first.
Protect our people.
That works out really well for us.
Sunlight blind.
Should have played Trundle last turn instead of Thresh, but get to Ruination here, which is nice. Goodbye, Declan. They could have a Bastion here to protect one of their things. They do not.
Hi, Daddy.
Nice to meet you. Ah!
Hi, Daddy.
Daylight breaks on the battlefield. Behold the sun's holy light.
Welcome to the tipsy hour.
Sure. Opponent just trying to invoke for top-end bombs here. Trying to close the game out. No reason to attack these into their 4-6 here. Hey, Vengeance ain't bad.
The wood can't fight back, but I can.
It's always cold in the Freljord. Hail to the king.
Hold nothing back.
Am I killing Elmheart? Or am I killing her? I think I'm just killing her, so I'm just like letting this happen.
Their pride will cost them.
How's Magic today? Pretty bad. We block here and Vengeance this. I think I'm fine with this trade. This gets the board pretty empty, which again, I think empty board going super long is kind of okay for us. They do have Orient Sol, but like, we have a couple of Harrowings here, so we just like get another Trundle to die, we could be okay. A whole lot going on here. Yeah, and the second Harrowing feeds the first Harrowing feeds the second one, right?
Bask in her radiant blessing.
It's definitely the case. Well, here's hoping that that is not an Orient Sol, huh? It's likely to be an Orient Sol, though. Maybe I'm supposed to have Harrowing that turn. Yeah, that might have been wrong. Maybe I was supposed to Harrowing that turn.
Raise your weapon, Sunwood.
So Got a spell shield? It does. And it has elusive.
Devotion through battle.
So I assume we're gonna hook this here. Oh, really? We're trying to kill it? Weird. Deal. We'll go ahead and gain some life here. Keep our spell mana. Yeah, I think we're... Well, this has spell shield, chat, so you can't... Ruination doesn't do anything here. However, leveled Trundle... Leveled Trundle's gonna be able to, Leveled Trundle can hook this and attack. Because it's vulnerable from the Ice Pillar.
Dawn has arrived. With its light, the Solari will unite the heavens.
That's unfortunate. Yes, we do get to level Thresh here, which is nice.
How about another round?
Wait, do we get to level Thresh? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm gonna be 1 short, right? Thresh has to see 6 things die. I can kill the pillar. And this does... This means 5 things die, and then these die left to right. So if I don't attack with this dying will level Thresh, right? That's how that works, I'm pretty sure. Aren't we dead to open attacks with no blockers? Who said I was gonna have no blockers?
Leave your bags in the door. But I'm king.
Nope, doesn't work that way. Alright. The more you know.
Devotion to battle.
Let's talk about your tag.
Spell shield does block Ruination, yep.
Virtue guides me.
That's good enough? Might be. See what? See what they have here? They get to make plays before I get to attack.
Unyielding light.
We're so close. We can literally put them to 1. We literally put them to 1. Because this is gaining them 5, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess I can glimpse and try and find 2 8-mana spells, but that's unlikely, right?
Come on, come on!
Man, what a close game. Oh, the angel goes first.
One smack'll do.
Does that kill them? No, that leaves them at 1. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that doesn't matter. This leaves them at 1 instead of 6, but then, like, we die next turn. Yeah, they also have Consecrated Strike. That was close. I think I made a bad play in the middle there. We had a couple of sequencing decisions that could have gone a little differently. Ruination, the double Harrowing almost pulled us out at the end. I could have prioritized getting Trundle down sooner that game. I could have also Harrowinged 1 turn sooner. I think I waited a turn too long to go Harrowing into Harrowing. If I would have Harrowinged a turn sooner, we would have been able to pressure them better. Yeah, I think that was ultimately the mistake I made, as I should have. Alright, so they're playing Leona Oriensol again. I think we keep the Sentries or Rekindlers very good in these more mid-rangey matchups. Yeah, I agree. I think that would have been better, though. I agree that it's not clear that that necessarily would have won, but I think it would have been beneficial. Hey, good games, Diverge. Good luck in the rest of your ladder matches today. Alright, it's good to curve out with here.
Raise your weapon, Sunwood. The edge. Did it move? Devotion to battle.
Yeah, the order in which we hooked there didn't matter, chat. They were either dying or they weren't, and they didn't.
Old eyes still see far and clear. Safeguard our home.
Attack with our 2-1 off for the trade here. Can you explain it in short detail? The command. There you go.
Follow the horizon.
My number one piece of advice, if you're looking to check out Runeterra, is it's free to play, and it's free to play, and they have an excellent in-game tutorial, probably the best in-game tutorial of any digital card game I've played. If you think the graphics look appealing and stuff like that, you're interested in checking out a new card game, I'd recommend just installing it on mobile or your PC and playing through the tutorial levels. At the start of each session, I usually explain in a little bit of extra detail, but doing that constantly means I can't talk through the actual strategy in the gameplay as much. Unfortunately, we don't have any 5-drops to play here. Remember, our spell mana can't be used to play units, so I can't play Trundle this turn, unfortunately. We're just jump blocking here. Remember, damage stays marked across turns. This draws a card when we die, so it's kind of appealing. I guess I could also just Vengeance to kill this. Just gonna do this. We've got 2 Ruination in hand. So I think we're probably gonna try and get set up to Ruination to kill everything. And then we'll want Vengeance to interact with whatever they deploy to the board. Getting our Trundle out before we Ruination is fine because we have Harrowing. Because remember, we want to get our Trundles killed so that way we can summon back a bunch of them.
I know these paths well.
Opponent invoking a bunch here. Again, that invoke mechanic, letting you pick a Celestial card from the pool of 24 based on these conditions. So this one invokes one that costs 3 or less. They binned an Oriensol, which probably means they have another Asol in their hand, I have to imagine. What am I doing this turn? I think we're starting the turn by attacking before they can deploy anything scarier. Or notably, I guess this isn't stunning anything. That's fine. Let's start by attacking with this and see what they do. Trundle regenerates, so he recovers damage at end of turn, so throwing him into combat is often correct. Is there a way to track what's died for the purpose of Harrowing? So if you put Harrowing on the stack in the middle of Zentoth and then mouse over the eye, it shows you what it's going to summon. So like, for example, if I put it out there now and mouse over, it shows me I'm going to get 2/2/1s.
Warm hearts and hot soup.
That's super unfortunate, he said before he glimpsed it. So this obliterates, which is similar to exiling. So I want to kill it in response. That way I can get it back with things like Rekindler. Correct, isn't Toth? There's no like graveyard to go back and check through. And part of the reason why there's not a graveyard is because like things like Rekindler, when you resummon a dead thing that dies, you're technically summoning a new instance of it, which is why this deck works, because you can resummon multiple instances of the same thing that's died. It's not like a paper card game like Magic, where you're reviving specific things out of the discard pile. This might also be a game where we just, like, beat them up with Rekindler Trundles and, like, don't actually Harrowing them.
We chart our path by the stars. One candle for every sun.
So, Rekindler there, resummons a Trundle. And again, what I was talking about there, where you're not summoning specific things, you're summoning an instance of that thing. If I get room on my bench and I Rekindler again, I will get a second Trundle into play, even though I've only had one Trundle die. So I think we start the turn by playing Ice Pillar here. Even though my bench is full, I can replace a 1/1 with this, which will let me level Trundle. So Ice Pillar refills my mana, or refills 8 mana, effectively making it free, but it does still pass priority here. So Trundle gets bigger for each card I behold when he attacks, so he's going to be able to eat their Leona here, which is great. The Ice Pillar made her vulnerable, which means I can force her to block. Trundle's going up to 10 attack here, because my hand is very large. I think I'm just throwing a bunch of stuff into combat here, right? Because I don't mind if these things die.
This is gonna be fun.
And remember, that his attack bonus is Grant, so he has this extra attack permanently, which is lovely. Or Trundle.
Unbeliever! This is the wrong path.
Believe or burn. Back, heretic.
Not stray.
How do we feel about ruinating this board? I think I'm kind of into it, right? Like, they're at 2 mana. And, like, I have Rekindler and another Harrowing in my hand. Yeah, I think we Ruinate here, and then on their turn we Rekindle, and then we Harrowing on our next attack step. I think is exactly right. Because we don't mind our things dying when we've got these lined up in hand, which is great.
Proud warriors of the sun's true light. Punish transgressions.
We each died, then found home.
You want to get Ori installed here?
Your favorite star. I created it.
So he has Spell Shield. So the first spell effect that targets him doesn't work.
I do love an audience.
So I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in hand. So each of these Trundles is attacking for 11. So that's 44 plus the extra 8. So I think this Harrowing sounds good. If they have Judgment, we get messed up. The conservative play is Vile Feast and then Vengeance, the Orient Sol. Yeah. Oh, you know what? If I would have Vile Feasted first, I think I would have... If I would have Vile Feasted first, I would have gotten another Ice Pillar, right?
I'll knock 'em dead. One smack'll do.
So these would be 12s?
You must be very important. How middling.
The guilty will bend.
Do they have Do they have Judgment too?
Be quiet.
Oh, they're just hushing? Sure. Oh, I would have gotten fewer Trundles. Yeah, that's a good point. So my play's right. It's a good call. That had a spider taking up space.
This is gonna be fun. My time.
So we'll Vile Feast this. Yeah, we want to Vile Feast here because we want room in our hand too. Because remember, Runeterra has a hard hand size limit of 10. Which means that if you go to draw a card and already have 10 cards in hand, you just don't draw it.
My, how they stare.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
We have like infinite ice pillars here to just like soft pass back and forth, which is great. It's like, all right, you make a play, I'm an ice pillar.
My star warms the heavens.
Am I playing another ice pillar here? I think I am, right? A U-sickle.
My light shines.
You want to quake them? Really? I think I'd rather just Vengeance the Orient Sol, right? Maybe it was right to quake them so they don't gain life. I don't know, killing the Orient Sol this turn while they don't have Bastion up seems important.
Something's wrong.
You have to win next turn anyways. Why? Can you explain why you think I have to win?
Get ready for a beatdown.
That'll do, pig. That'll do. Yeah. looks like we're gonna get to open attacks to kill him.
You can't take this crown.
The trolls are going to war, chat. Alright, we're on the scoreboard. Had some slops in the first couple of games. This is it. This is the turnaround, okay? Hello, oldest son. How are you this morning? You're good? Don't take components of the game, bud. Omen Hawk, Aristocrat. Honestly, all these cards are probably fine here. They're playing Trundle Swain, which is probably a mid-range / control deck. Leave the slap bands there, please. Those are not for you. Those are parts of mommy's game. Okay. Yes, ant sounds. Ant sounds good. Who's a good boy? Yes, you are. Yes, you are the goodest boy. Is our opponent DC'd? Pretty sure we play Omen Hawk on 1. Easy victory and fleet to win, right? Yep. We said we weren't losing anymore, chat. Comcast is always now.
That egg.
Did it move? Does it eventually drop them, or do they just sit there and rope until you kill them? I don't think that I've ever actually had someone fully DC like this before. After like 3 timeouts. I wonder if it gives them extra at the start of the game, because they've definitely done 3 now. I think that was the 4th. It is appearing faster and burning out quicker. That's accurate. They technically haven't missed anything yet, right? Like, they haven't given up mana. So if they can get reconnected, they can still play a game. I think we might actually just be intentionally being roped.
I'll spot him.
Nah, don't call it trolling. This isn't trolling. This is being an asshole. Don't sugarcoat it. Maybe they weren't. Maybe it's just like 800 disconnects. Maybe they were having connection issues. And halfway there, I don't know. It's hard to know. For a multi-Trundle deck, does that mean we're the ones trolling? Yes. So this hand's actually great here. So they're playing Lulu Shen, which is an aggressive deck. So we get to Omen Hawk on 1, Catalyst on 3, and then Ruination on 5 here, and hopefully not die before then. Is the plan.
Don't think I won't unmake you because I will.
Because I will.
Slow down.
I don't think I play that. I think I'm just supposed to do this on 3.
Flavor and spice.
This gets 2 attack permanently every time it's supported, so almost assuredly chump blocking.
I made a familiar. Oh, whoa, behave. Who's a hungry little munchkin?
Hungry little munchkin. I'm gonna take a bunch of damage here.
Right on an empty stomach.
So we're actually not in a terrible spot here. One thing that's of concern is that my opponent is in Ionia. Sometimes their archetype plays deny, which is scary. So we're at 5 mana here, so I'm going to go ahead and Hapless Aristocrat into Omen Hawk, so I have decent blockers against their open attacks next turn. And then we'll bank, we're going to bank 3 mana here and go up to 6, so we could Ruination this turn now. So we're going to take a little bit of a hit, but then we'll get to do this. Hopefully they get greedy and play out like a 5-drop here and don't start by attacking. If they don't start on attacks, we're just in an incredible spot. This is definitely the correct play on my opponent's part here.
1 part sandalwood and 1 part pix. Go, Pix! Go, Pix!
Eat up, friend.
They're our friends, Glow.
To get me out of here.
And again, my opponent played well, and this isn't Magic, so unfortunately the sweeper isn't just good game. We're gonna have to have some okay draws after this. They still get to, they have 4 cards in hand. They get to draw a card every turn. They have 5 resources. They get to redeploy here a little bit. Only having 1 unit to deploy there seems okay for us. I think I'm just passing with the Vengeance draw. Vengeance was a very good draw.
With me.
Just go ahead and kill that one now. Trundle was probably one of the best draws on our deck there.
You're covered.
King of Trolls coming through.
Yeah, they could have a rally. It's definitely something we have to worry about. I'm going to block here. If they have a riposte, I'm just going to go ahead and glimpse, and then next turn we Rekindler. Yep, so riposte gives us 3 extra attack and barrier, so it's going to kill my Trundle. We'll glimpse here to eat my Trundle. This does not have overwhelm, so we're just going to take 1 here.
But I'm king.
That was the, that's what the emoticon was for. There's the rally. I don't think we had any counterplay there, right? I didn't have other lines. I didn't have anything I could play out. Thresh Oriental. Okay, I think we mulligan the Runeterra. I think I'm actually going to keep these 3 pieces of top end in my hand here, because Thresh Oriental probably means they're a deck that's going longer. I mean, we didn't just have Ruination, though, Stegall. Like, I had Ruination, I had 2 chump blockers, and I had a way to gain life, and I ramped to the Ruination. But like, I wasn't attempting to just beat the aggro deck via Ruination. Yeah, I agree. Control in this game feels way less miserable to play against than Control in Magic, in large part because of the priority system and how sweepers are designed and work. I'm not trading my 2-1 for this here because this is a temporary boost. So next, from now, I can trade with this instead of just jump blocking.
In Avarosa's name.
Vengeance isn't a terrible draw. We'll bank 2 mana here. And then we'll lose 1, but we can Vengeance next turn.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren. My spirit shines.
They play Leona out here. It's a very easy Vengeance target. Oh, they're not a Leona deck. They're Thresh Oriental. Durf. I think I just end here, right? Try and get Thresh going since we drew him. Yeah, I agree with that too. XChat, there's no counter spell, all your things, control decks. I have a Vengeance for their Thresh, so I think I'm pretty into offering this up here. Yeah. Basically, every unit in this game has Flash and Haste, which are the 2 best mechanics against control decks in Magic, so that goes a long way towards making the control decks less overbearing. Yeah, even the easy Karma control deck can't win without getting units into play. The Meteor Showering. Honestly, I think I'm just taking this opportunity to play Ruination.
Light the signal fire.
Yeah, double Harrowing here, plus Rekindler in hand. So, like, next turn I get to go Trundle, Hawk, which is great. I have to imagine this is a matchup where, especially with Harrowings in my hands here, we're likely pretty favored. Why Ruination over Vengeance? Because Ruination there is more resource efficient, and I don't currently have a board, so Ruination is not always going to be one-sided like that. They could have Pale Cascade here to kill my Trundle when I attack, but I'm pretty okay with that. I'm going to have Omen Hawks to deploy as chump blockers for next turn, and then Rekindler can bring this back. Sure, yeah. It's like not a big deal. Pretty okay with getting a Trundle killed here. Is Trundle broken? No. He's playable. I like playable cards. Nah, I like Bridgin. I am a vegetarian for a little over a decade.
Witness glory.
Quinn is doo-doo. Quinn is literally played in one of the best aggro decks in the format. oh, Twitch chat. Oh, Twitch chat. And not even about just getting beaten by Quinn. Like the data objectively shows Quinn is present and an important tool in one of the best aggressive decks in the format. Us just losing to it has nothing to do with that. Like, it's just, like, objectively good. Yeah, if you want to look for champions that are not great, I think you have to look for like Vlad or maybe Heimer.
A young Rakor once gazed upon these stars.
Yeah, Katarina's a little on the weak side. Alright, so this is vulnerable. The question is, do I want to play this other ice pillar and make this vulnerable as well? I might. Trundle can attack this. And even if they Pale Cascade and kill this, it's again not a big deal because I've got some Harrowings here. There's Teemo seeing play anymore. There's so many decks. I think Teemo's a fine power level. Well, that's a little terrifying. Alright, so with that in mind, am I ruinating this turn? Is that the plan?
Smashing!
I think you have to ruination on their turn. Can you explain why? Yeah, I'm definitely attacking first. Otherwise, they redevelop and smash your face. Is that strictly true? Like, I have Ice Pillar and Tavern Keeper to block? I think I disagree with your assessment that they just smash me. Like, they only have 3 mana here. I think if they play out another unit here, I'm gonna ruination. They did nothing. Ruinating is like so resource efficient. And I'm at 13. Oh my god, I just played the wrong fucking spell. Oh god. Oh, whoops. It's fine. It'll be fine. It's gonna technically put 2 more Trundles in the bank, and I have another one. It's actually not the end of the world. It's actually just 2 dead Trundles. Yeah, they're both hands, and I was like talking and reading chat. We did that on purpose to spill the bin with Trundles. Yeah, exactly. You got me. You understand. This is definitely a big brain play and not a misclick. The problem here is they're a Shadow Isles deck, so like they also are likely a Ruination deck. So like there's a chance that they counter this Harrowing with their own Ruination, and then I really need a second Harrowing, is the problem. At the very least, the opponent is confused. Yep. You're not wrong.
Spirit shines.
Follow the path.
Does Chronicler Rekindler work? It does. Hexapelagic Squid, thank you for keeping on with the tier 1 sub. I appreciate it. The trolls are going to war, chat. And by going to war, I mean getting ruinated, but it is what it is. So each of these are attacking for 10. I have 5 8+ cost cards to behold. Oh, 11, because I have 1 in play too. Well, they haven't just slammed Ruination, so maybe they're dead? Hush lets them effectively counter it for the turn 2. That's true.
Take forever, why don't you?
What? Okay. Weird. Does Hush get rid of the ephemeral? So, they'll gain ephemeral back next turn, right? I'm pretty sure is how that works.
This is gonna be fun.
There's no reason to attack with this. I don't remember. We'll find out here in a second. Does Chroniclering an ephemeral work? My head's in magic mode. Does that work? And Chroniclering an ephemeral one works? That's interesting.
Spilled paint is just accidental art.
New instance, no ephemeral. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, here. Yeah, this is... They should have just hushed all my Trundles. Hushing it does not get rid of ephemeral. Okay, so I could have killed them there if I would have chroniclered... If I would have chroniclered my 7-drop. Yep, yeah, we can Chronicler to save the Trundle, is correct. So I should have done this last turn. Bit of a misstep there. We've got some ice pillars. Couple, 2, 3. You tried thinking with portals instead of pillars, asking the real questions?
Greet the night.
I assume they're attacking here, right? They have 2 challengers. And then we're definitely on open attacks next turn, right? They gotta deal with 2 of my things. So we hook this down here. Trundle goes up to 12, then both of these are lethal.
Get ready for a beatdown.
So Hush doesn't save them because these both have... Wait, Hush would save them because this is only base 3 power, right? Okay, they gained a little bit. I was thinking of the other one that's higher base. Okay, so Hush gets them out of it.
Hold still.
It's a shame this isn't the Nightfall one. Don't worry, chat. We're gonna construct some additional pylons here. The trolls are going to war, and they've brought the entire mountain with them. Arena is such a quality program that if you lost twice, when sign up is still open, the event lets you sign back up, went 3-2 in my second run for 3,000 gems. That's great, Squirrel. I appreciate the 2 months. I'm glad you're trying Runeterra. I am too. The fact that I burned a Harrowing for no value, basically, could easily come back to lose us this game. Still have this stupid Ruination sitting here that I meant to cast.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty sparkle play.
If you Chronicler Pillar, do you get your mana back? No, this is a play trigger, not a summon trigger.
Was that a glimmer of starlight I saw?
My opponent's board's a little bit vulnerable, chat. Well, poop. So we have to Ruination to not be dead, and then we have to hope to peel a Trundle or a Rekindler or something. Oh, I can Vile Feast and then Ruination. Oh no, I could do this and this, right? And then everything dies? So you can put multiple spells in the stack? Okay. So, this breaks the spell shield, and then Ruination kills everything. What a silly game. I think if they pass, I just end the turn probably, right? Yeah, I think we're like basically playing chicken here. And I'm like, I'll play a second pillar out here, and then I can go Chronicler, and have 2 lethal threats. With the goal being, we'll just ice pillar these things and kill them.
Speaks to those who listen.
I don't understand what you're referring to, 746. Yep, the V Spiderling is also lethal.
Daylight star will rule the skies.
As though day and night are not equal.
So I can technically still kill them next turn, right? I can go this, Vile Feast, and then order the lifelink one last, once I make them vulnerable. I think that's the play. And they've got any of their life gain cards, this kind of goes sideways, but pretty sure this is the play to win line at this point. Really frustrated that I misclicked earlier and threw that Harrowing away. So if they have nothing, they're technically dead here. I think they've only played like one Star Shaping this game though, so would not be surprised to get Star Shaping or Heal Toot here. They put like one Guiding Touch. Pretty sure we're supposed to make them have it though. We have Hearthstone lethal. Wow, Hearthstone lethal was good. Sick. That was still a good game. Ton of back and forth. Little frustrating that I had a dexterity error that almost cost us there, but due to technical difficulties, the Magic Mythic Invitational stream is delayed until 9:30. Oh, Magic Arena. Karma Ezreal. Vile Feast is awful. Omen Hawk's fine. Vengeance is a good keep, I think. Trundle's a decent keep. Because I felt like setting up lethal the following turn because I felt they were likely to have healing. And I don't think I'm supposed to be aggressive there when they're pretty likely to have healing. And obviously at the end, I ultimately ended up not playing around healing, but that was because of something else they had as well, right? So like they didn't have the lifesteal thing in play when I made the sequence that I did. This is actually kind of okay for us. Like, obviously they get to hit us and shoot something here, but now I get to bank 3 spell mana, and Vengeance gives me something to do with my resources next turn, which is nice. 5/8 Thresh here is also absurd, which is great. Sometimes their archetype plays deny, but definitely going for it here. Clarksville would like to know your location. Goodbye. Easy.
We each hold a world within.
Yeah, I think I'm in to trade a unit for 3 points of damage here. Maybe it's wrong to trade a unit here when I have Thresh coming up, but... Was Mardu Kalia decent? No. I think I'm off of historic for the next little bit. We have some historic decks in the queue with the new set, but I don't think I'm gonna accept anymore, and I'm gonna wait and see what the format shakes out to before taking more money to play more historic. The format's not in a place that I really enjoy. Glad standard's rotating so we can still do some Magic that way. So, they played that beam there for low value, because they wanted to get this Dragonling out, which is fine. Thursday Assassin. Are 5/8s good against the damage-based removal deck? Please respond in the comments below. Start the day. Will have Iota entered the chat? I mean, that's fine. That's a fine tempo exchange at this point. Wow, did we just zero beam my Thresh to get a Dragonling? It's an aggressive play.
These are troll lands.
These are troll lands, also known as Twitch, an Amazon subsidiary.
That egg, did it move?
Did it move?
The miracle of life. Like a worm on a hook.
So, if they have a Mystic Shot or get excited here, they can block my Trundle and then shoot him, but that's fine, because I've got a Rekindler. So we'll get to, like, Rekindler, bring back Trundle next turn, into Ice Pillar the following turn, which is great. Stunning Thresh is a big deal. So he is up to 4 out of 6 here, which is pretty decent.
What is gained when we return malevolence?
Huh? When this attacks and kills itself, I can glimpse to level Thresh?
We burn. Rekindle anew.
Rekindle anew. What about passing there? Why should I pass there? What am I playing around? I think getting Trundle into play sounds great. They're pretty far behind. Their deck doesn't play sweepers. I think getting Trundle so I can start Ice Pillaring sounds wonderful.
Take forever, why don't you?
Trundle has some of the best heckling voice lines in the game, I think. Between calling your opponent the troll and making them take forever. Well, I mean, the Dragonling's gonna die regardless, the cards are. So, like, passing doesn't kill the Dragonling. That's happening. And it's not just burning their mana, it's burning my mana. And I think you need to look at this matchup and ask yourself the question, who is favored as this game goes long? And I think the answer is likely my opponent. I think my opponent's deck is more likely to win than mine as this game goes long, which generally means if their deck is more likely to win, you don't want to be burning your mana.
Can't handle a little cold? Power in my kingdom now.
Hey, Fat Nerd, thanks for the 2 months, and I'm glad you checked out Runeterra. I'm glad to hear you're enjoying it. Game's a lot of fun. Haven't seen any good deck to make use of Singular Will. I've not. So I think we're glimpsing something here. Do I glimpse the Ice Pillar or Rekindler? Ice Pillar is less likely to die, right? Less likely to die in response. So I think we do this to level Thresh. And then we'll get to attack with him. They have Concussive Bomb, sure. Can I kill them with the box here? So if I do this, it kills both of these. Let's do a Sentry first and see if they play something else out. This might be a little aggressive, because this can kill Ezreal in a pinch, although Ezreal's going to level up, so I guess it doesn't matter. They don't level Karma for 2 more turns, which is good. Like, they could have another Concussive Palm or Steel Tempest to keep Trundle from killing them this turn.
Get ready for a beatdown.
Ready yourself.
So it looks like it's done here, coming as predicted.
The dragon binds us.
Again, I think we're definitely the beatdown in this matchup, so just want to try and get the game over with ASAP.
Begins.
Take aggressive lines. Getting to level Thresh is big game.
Ready yourself.
They must have both champions in hand with these blocks. You think so? I suppose they could potentially kill me like on my turn. If they go Karma and Ezreal next turn. I have not seen any builds of Leona Yasuo on the ladder. Do you have a link to an example?
What is gained when we return malevolence?
Wow, no Ezreal. Okay.
Ready the torches.
So I'm blocking and killing this to deny them the 2 life gain here. If they kill this in response, I only get to draw 1 card, but I think that's fine. If they don't interact with our board, we'll get to open attacks with double Trundle next turn.
Light the signal fires.
If they have a Karma here too, we could just be dead. So Ezreal's leveled mode deals 2 damage every time they cast a spell. And Karma's leveled mode doubles their recast their spells every time they play them.
Firing.
Leave your bags in the door.
That's not even really very useful, right? Yep.
There is hope.
Well, they don't even need burst. They can just have a bunch of fast spells.
My
My spirit is an unquenchable fire.
King of Trolls coming through. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, one get excited is 10 damage, so really close here. I feel like we're probably dead. Yeah, so this draws 4 cards and deals 4 damage, so very likely just dead here. The opponent's deck is basically like the best late game combo control deck in the game.
Many past lives in a single soul.
This is why we're probably gonna see an Ezreal Ezreal adjustment come Wednesday. Would not be surprised to see that. I think the appropriate power level balance is Ezreal should probably deal less damage when burst spells are cast. I think if you ask me how I would adjust Ezreal, I would just make him different. I would make it 3-2-1, make slow spells deal more, make fast spells deal the same, make burst spells deal 1. The first time, I think first time probably makes him unplayable. Oh, that's true. Yeah, they said they could change his level up condition. That could be a thing too. Nah, I don't think you change that mechanic. Making him harder to level is probably an okay mechanic. The very easy way to make their combo interactable is you make him have to see the targets to level up. And if you obviously reduce the number of them, so you make him see 3 to 4 targets, but that way you always have a chance to interact with him on the board before he levels. So that way he doesn't just come down on turn 10 already leveled and kill you. Yeah, make him more similar to Twisted Fate is probably what ends up happening. Obviously you don't leave him at 8, but after playing this deck some more, I think last time we probably just had an exceptionally good run with it. I think this deck was fun and powerful, but I don't think that it's super consistent. I definitely think that how Ruination plays out against some of the aggressive decks definitely leaves a little bit to be desired. I think with the way those games felt playing out today, I think there's a chance we want maybe more Vengeance in the deck. One thing that feels a little bit awkward is it felt like we frequently didn't have things to do with our mana on turn 4, and being able to bank 3 spell mana on 3 into Vengeance on 4 felt pretty good, pretty consistently, so I think that could be something to consider, maybe cut a Ruination for a Vengeance. It might even be right, honestly, to get up to 3 Vengeance with the way it played out in the different games. Eight mana, 3 damage can be better than Ruination against aggro decks. It casts 1 turn sooner. This versus the Ash variant, which would you run? I think I like this variation better, Waffle, because while I think trimming Ruination is probably correct, because 3 is a lot, I think this card's very good in general. The Ash deck, the Ash Harrowing deck is more of mid-range or aggro combo deck, whereas this feels more like a control combo deck, and I think I prefer being a control combo deck with that aspect. Alright, what are we doing? So that's going to wrap Runeterra for the day. We're going to shift gears, and we're going to do another variety segment for our last little bit today. We had a viewer donate to do some Portal 2, so we're going to play that as a Valve puzzle game in the Source Engine from many moons ago that I've actually never played through, so we're going to do that for the first time on stream here today. Of course, Double Red, as you will.